What's up?
Sister.
Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Are we ready to start this week off or what?
What's up, sisters?
How's it going? I see Eli is the first to join. Jumana is here. We got Meller. Hi, everybody. We're just going to do a little PCOS Q&A. Hi, Gianni. She says hello. Hi, goals.
Gianni in a bottle.
That's a good name. Hello to speak English. Hello, KM Chino. So yeah, we're gonna do a Q&A.
Yes.
Answer all your questions. Talk about today's podcast episode. All that good stuff. Let's do it. Hello to Ilano. Hello, Ashlyn. So if you don't know, we have a new podcast episode out today, and it's all about the vegetarian diet and whether is it good or bad for PCOS. So on the podcast episode, we go over the pros, the cons, and we actually go over some studies that were done on women with PCOS and going on the vegetarian diet and basically all that stuff. So if you're thinking about going vegetarian or maybe you are vegetarian, it's a great episode to listen to.
That's right.
So yes, we have a lot of hellos. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Ricky.
Ask us some of your PCOS questions. Tell us what you've been up to.
Yes. Shiza asked, why do we have PCOS?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
It could be a combination of genetics and environment. No one really knows. But there's no real answer to this question. We are blessed. That's why.
I mean, and blessed in a way that you're able to like hone in on your body and health and try to reverse your symptoms, and in that way you learn a lot. But in some ways it's not blessed. In some ways it can feel like it's cursed. But it's all about your perspective.
Yeah, once you reach a point where you're managing your symptoms more effectively, that little bit of extra testosterone can actually work in your favor.
Yeah.
And make you stronger, more resilient. And honestly, I look back on the PCOS journey that I went through and I can appreciate it because it helped me grow as a person and look beyond the facial hair and the acne and the hair fallout and the weight gain and become stronger in terms of character. And then, of course, it takes time to reach the point where those things are under control, but you can get there.
Yes.
And it's okay.
All right. Someone's asked, how do you start a gluten-free diet? It's a great question.
That is.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the first thing we would say, the approach is not to go in with an all or nothing mentality. We just actually had an episode about this from last week. But the whole mentality isn't like to jump into anything for that matter all at once, right? Whatever diet you may choose, whatever plan you have, it's very hard when you go in all at once because it's like a shock to your body, to yourself mentally, and then when you're not able to like accommodate, then you feel like you're a failure. But the reality is you're not a failure. You just put yourself at a disadvantage, and it's just about like setting yourself up for success instead of really making it super hard on yourself. So with like the gluten-free diet, we recommend starting slow, right? Like for example, let's say it's your first week, you could start by your breakfast. Like how could you make your breakfast gluten-free? How could we basically remove the gluten? You start from there.
Start with the first meal and then continue. You don't have to be perfect. Took me a whole year to get used to this type of lifestyle. Honestly, I made lots of mistakes, lots of situations where I didn't know I was eating gluten, or I knew and I just felt like it. And then I felt sick afterwards. So it's just a series of experiences. And then eventually it turns into a lifestyle if you're not too hard on yourself, because if you are, then you kind of just give up.
Yeah. How to address the low mood that leads to eating crap and feeling worse?
Well, my new technique with treating mood or creating like a positive mood in our household is routine. And if you're in our 4-week challenge, 5,000 steps a day, this makes a big difference in terms of your mood, in terms of creating routines and getting ahead of that like anxiety that might come on when you start sitting and like thinking of whatever gives you anxiety, coronavirus. So I really like routines, and I'm going to start incorporating more in my Instagram stories because doing this 4-week challenge has really started like a new routine vibe for me. I don't know, like I have this new routine of cleaning or like reorganizing over the weekends, like one section of our apartment. It's a small apartment, things get cluttered, So this weekend was the pantry where the linens were, where all the towels were, and they were all smelling like chips.
Oh my
So
God,
I
because of all the
moved
food and spices.
I moved the towels to a separate area, and then I created like a pantry out of that section, and I just felt more cleansed,
Yeah.
feel more relaxed, like something is in order. So that's
Yeah.
one of my new routines,
I feel you.
weekend routines.
I feel you. Okay, so ironic you guys did this episode today because I'm vegan and I was feeling like I needed to ditch so that your episode this week spoke to me. Well, I mean, we're glad the episode spoke to you. The episode really isn't about like anti-vegan, anti-vegetarian, or pro-vegetarian. It's honestly just showing you both perspectives. So we're glad that you were able to look at both perspectives and make a judgment for yourself because that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're not trying to ever like, say this is the best. So that's really good. We're very happy that happened. If you guys liked the episode, let us know. We love to always. I mean, today we surpassed 1,000 reviews on the
Yes.
podcast, which is amazing. We're very thankful of that. And
It's almost going to be 1 year of having
Yeah.
this podcast.
we've done it every week since we started last year. So this week was the 50th episode, which means in 2 weeks it'll be the 52nd. And correct me if I'm not wrong, but there are 52 weeks in a year. Therefore, in 2 weeks, it shall be the 1 year anniversary.
What should we do?
I mean,
Oh my God, 1 year of sitting down every week and doing a podcast.
you sound like it's torture or something.
No, but I mean, it flew by.
It did fly by.
And it was a lot of work. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
And we didn't skip 1 week.
Yeah.
Not one. That's right. Not 1 week did we
And you
skip.
were working for half the time.
That's
a
right.
different job.
Yeah, that's very true.
Interesting.
All right.
Ooh, this is so cool. Okay.
On YouTube, somebody Leah asked, how does stress impact weight retention?
Stress? Oh, that's a great question.
Yes.
So when we have cortisol coursing through our bodies, or DHEAS, which is the stress hormone, it's basically something that's going to trigger us to like fight or flee the stressful scenario. What happens is it causes us to gain weight in the midsection because we're not really fighting or fleeing or like burning any calories. You know what I'm saying? So midsection weight comes from stress hormones. It also, your body prioritizes making those stress hormones instead of making the hormones necessary for hair, like for hair growth or nail growth or skin health. So
Who's that?
that's the oven. I'm making bacon.
Bacon? Should I take it out?
No, I haven't put it in yet.
Okay. Should I put it in?
No, it's fine. So stress hormones can really inhibit the production of the proper hormones necessary to ovulate as well. You miss your periods. It's just a mess. So stress management is really an important aspect of PCOS management aside from diet. And I'm going to go back to my story about routines. I personally, takes me time to figure out routines that will work for me. And then, schedules change, COVID happened, whatever. So you have to find a new routine. So doing this 4-week walking thing is really helping me get my routine together. And if you want to join, you can go to the highlight called 4-week challenge. You can join our 4-week walking challenge.
Someone asked, what if I've gone gluten and dairy free and still don't see weight loss? That's a great question because that can happen. The reason, I can't say the reason, but the thing is that it's not really like going gluten dairy free and that's like going to be the solution to losing weight with PCOS. It's like treating the root cause. The reason we like to promote or recommend trying a gluten and dairy free diet is that it targets 2 of the main types of PCOS. One is insulin resistance, which 70 to 80% of women with PCOS have, and inflammation. So going gluten dairy free helps with both of those. And but that doesn't mean you can just eat like anything that's gluten and dairy free, like processed foods or things that are high in sugar. It just means that you have to target the root cause, meaning the insulin resistance, make sure the foods you're eating aren't triggering that, and like going from there.
Yeah, exactly. 1 second. Sorry, I was reading something while you were saying that. But there are a lot of components to PCOS weight loss. And it's not just about diet change. Like I said, stress can contribute to it and make us gain weight. So it's really a lifestyle change. And we show you how to do this in the sisterhood. We have the 5-stage success path where you figure out what type of PCOS you have so that you can figure out what are the most important things for you to do to treat that type of PCOS before you even change your diet. What supplements are best for you and so on.
Yes.
Why is dairy so bad for PCOS? Wouldn't some organic goat dairy products occasionally be okay? I have heard that goat milk is better than cow milk, but it still has components in it that can raise our insulin levels and cause inflammation. And so this is something that depends case by case. So once you cut out dairy for a good month and you see if it helps with any of your symptoms, you can slowly add goat cheese back and see if that affects you in any way, and just like test it out. Everyone is different. But typically dairy raises our insulin levels, contributing to insulin resistance, and contributes to a lot of inflammation. I see cystic acne all over my face whenever I eat dairy. Also, like if it's your face, it can also be your hair, and that's less obvious. When you cut it out, you might not see results for like 6 months. So it's case by case.
Yeah.
Your husband is so cute.
Thank you very much. Someone asked, there's best vitamins for PCOS, and then another question about hair loss. Well, with the vitamins, like we do have a podcast episode where we talk about the best supplements for PCOS, but not just that, best supplements for each kind of PCOS type. Like when it comes to vitamins, you don't want to just like take every single thing, like the first 10 things on the list, just because it's on the list. You want to actually target the root cause, like what we're talking about here. So for example, if you have insulin resistance type, then like that Ovasitol, like a natural supplement, is one of the important ones that you could start taking, like any inositol supplement. Or for example, like berberine, or like these different supplements that target insulin resistance. And then let's say you have inflammation, right? Then you could try CBD, because CBD helps to lower inflammation. And it's like all the other types. Basically, you could target different vitamins or supplements. So you want to just like target at the root cause and not just take everything.
That's so true. I see a lot of questions about Ovasitol. Someone even asked if I'm diabetic. I'm not diabetic, but I do eat as if I would have diabetes. And I say this because women with PCOS, 70% of us have insulin resistance. And if that goes unmanaged, it can turn into diabetes. So what we recommend is to eat basically a diabetic diet and figure out how to make sure your blood sugar isn't all over the place. And that's why yesterday I posted that I was having my Ovasitol, my one piece of fruit, my sunflower seed butter, paired with the fruit, because a healthy fat and a carb together slows down the absorption of sugar in your bloodstream. Basically, and Ovasitol. So Ovasitol really helps with blood sugar control. It works just as good as metformin, studies show. And it has a special combination of inositols that mimics the combination in your body. And that's why it's so much more effective than just inositol alone. So we highly recommend it if you're having terrible cravings, if you have irregular periods. It also helps with mood. And once you get your insulin resistance under control with it, it can also help with facial hair, acne, hair loss, things like this.
Yeah.
So it's really treating the root of the issue, and it's a natural supplement. It's just a vitamin B8 supplement. It's not like a drug like metformin where that gives you so many side effects and things like that.
Yeah, and very good point talking about hair loss and like hair growth. So like if you're experiencing hair loss or possibly like hair growth in the face, anything like that, like one of the reasons for that could be insulin resistance. So Ovasitol is a great option, which helps to heal the insulin resistance. And if you're new to insulin resistance, basically insulin resistance can lead to hirsutism, which is elevated male hormones, which basically lead to like acne, hair loss, hair growth, these kinds of things. So if you have hair loss, you want to like try to treat it maybe first at the root level, right? Like basically diet and lifestyle before like going on to like prescriptions and things like that. So because it can be reversed, it takes about 6 to 12 months. Just want to give it some time, and like focus on the diet and lifestyle changes that help. with time, it will come back because we've seen many sisters do that. They just do diet and lifestyle, 6 to 12 months, it comes back.
That's right. I see a message that says I had to end up going on a very restrictive diet and it worked for me, but long term, not manageable. Well, here's the thing. If you go on a very restrictive, for example, keto diet or super low carb, yes, you're treating the high insulin levels, but no, it's not manageable, like you said, because that is way too restrictive and it's not a lifestyle for many people. Some people, keto is fine for them. But we find that our method is way more conducive to a lifestyle. So when you do slow weighted workouts, that helps with insulin resistance. When you eat gluten and dairy free, that helps with insulin resistance too. It's less restrictive and less miserable than going on like a low calorie diet, we have found. So we're tackling insulin resistance in a much more lifestyle way. 6 to 12 months, I'm so impatient. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I would get impatient too. I understand what you mean, but you'll see other results during those 6 to 12 months, perhaps weight loss, better skin, better mood. So whatever that's working for you, keep doing it, and eventually your symptoms will reverse.
All right, time to excite this party up a little bit. We're going to announce, we have 2 giveaways. I don't know why I'm yelling now.
Whoa.
Oh my Lord. Stop that now. Okay. Sorry, right an alarm go off. Right in the middle of my rant. Okay, let's make this a little bit exciting. Bring up the noise. We're going to announce 1 giveaway winner right now. We have 2 giveaway winners. We actually had planned to do 1 giveaway winner, but since we surpassed 1,000 reviews, I was like, just do 2.
Why not?
So we have 2 giveaway winners. One of them will be Ovasitol, and the other winner will be 1 month free in the sisterhood. We'll announce the Ovasitol one right now, and then announce the second one in like 10 minutes. Cool?
Yes.
All right. So the first winner is
Come on.
Oh, okay. I didn't really talk. I didn't realize. I got you guys. Okay. The first winner is Dog Mom 1 Ma'am is the winner. She says epilepsy and PCOS. So the receptionist at my office who also has PCOS told me about you guys, and I've literally listened to tons and tons of your podcasts so far. I'm 27, has suffered with adult acne since my early 20s. She says I've done Accutane before and I want it now, and I can't express how depressing it is to not want to leave the house because you don't love yourself. And she says, thankfully, I have such a sweet fiance, and he encourages me. You guys have really encouraged me to take my life into my hands and be proactive, as we are going to try for a baby soon, as my neurologist can wean me off my epilepsy medicine. She says, we get married in January. Congratulations. And because of you guys, I've seen my OBGYN, nutritionist, dietitian to help us along the way and help me in becoming gluten and dairy free. I just don't want to add another medicine on the pile. And because of you guys, I've really refocused my plan of action to becoming a mom and learning to love myself again. That's amazing. We love hearing stuff like that.
That's so lovely.
Congrats to you on getting married in January. And, it's all like a big step-by-step process, and it looks like you're really on a great path.
Yeah, so exciting.
Congratulations. We will, we'll post the winners on stories so that we can connect. But basically, congrats, Dog Mom 1 Ma'am. You're getting 3 months supply of Ovasitol.
Consult your doctor before taking it.
Yeah.
All right. Is there one more?
We'll announce the second one like 5, 7, 10 minutes.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Let's see. Any more questions? I can cook, so staying healthy becomes so boring and hard. Honestly, eating gluten and dairy free has been the most fun thing for us because we've been able to try different recipes.
She said, I can't cook, by the way. She said, I can't.
I can cook.
But then she
I can't. Well, you know what?
It can be so fun,
though. You don't have to do
though.
anything complicated. Just throw it all in the oven. Put some sauce on it and call it a day. That's what I did in college. Who has time? Sometimes you're just not available for all of that,
Yeah. There was a question about coffee. With coffee, we talk about the caffeine, right? So caffeine can spike stress hormones like cortisol. Like maybe you guys have experienced this. Like, have you ever drinking a cup of coffee, maybe 2, and then you feel jittery anxious, like you're gonna have a panic attack, even though like nothing's happening, like outside. It's just like the caffeine can sometimes trigger these cortisol, these stress hormones. So for that reason, we recommend not having caffeine. I mean, if you drink a lot of caffeine, especially, you might want to like start cutting it off slowly. Perhaps you can try like decaf. Decaf coffee is like tastes just as good. And a lot of times we're like addicted to the habit, right? Like we wake up in the morning and we have our coffee. We love to sip on it, make that little noise, and like it's hot. It feels good going down like our throat. It's like a nice time for the mornings, right? So like you can still do that, but do with decaf coffee, and you'll realize that you don't really need the caffeine because like if you think about it, like humans genetically we don't need caffeine to survive. Like we have all the energy we need. We have our diet, which helps us to basically have energy, food. So if you're trying to eat the right stuff, that should help you basically have the right energy levels too.
That's right. Someone's asking about stevia. I don't recommend any artificial sweeteners or natural sweeteners because of its potential effect on insulin levels.
Mhm.
I have seen cravings get even worse with people who I've worked with who took stevia, and it just, instead of like, because they thought they were using it as a crutch to help them get away from sugar, it actually made their sugar cravings worse because your body thinks you're eating something super sweet. You release all this insulin and there is nothing sweet. So then you want to eat something even more than you wanted to earlier.
Yeah. And then someone said, Shani said, I've been caffeine free 2 weeks and it's helped my anxiety so much. Dairy free, caffeine free is chilling me out. See, that's great. And it looks like your energy levels haven't been affected based on your comment. And if it's helping the anxiety, then it goes a long way.
Yeah.
I asked about decaf because of the process it goes through. Yeah, with decaf, they roast the coffee beans more to basically take out the caffeine in it. But you just want to make sure you get it from like a reputable source, so it's not like a bad.
Thoughts on juicing?
Oh, but with only one fruit, she says.
Well, I think that's fine. Honestly, when you juice a fruit, though, you're taking out all the fiber. So I don't recommend having it in that way unless you're drinking it with like a meal or something so your blood sugar doesn't spike. Or if you're not that insulin resistant, maybe you can tolerate it and that's totally fine. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Is Herbalife okay?
I don't know.
No.
I've heard a lot of bad things about it, to be honest.
It's a hard no for
me. I've heard a lot of bad things about it. Are there different types of PCOS? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can remember them all. So there's no like definition of like this and that type of PCOS, but there's a suggestion that there are 5 types of PCOS: insulin resistance, inflammation, hold on, hypothyroidism, post-birth control. Hold on, don't say it. If you say Italian, I will seriously be so mad.
I'm so stressed. That was a hint.
Adrenal fatigue. God, dang it! Adrenal fatigue is the 5th one. I was trying to remember like the sister because I edited the videos. I was like, what was that 5th one? Okay. So those are the 5 types, and we usually have a quiz in the bio to take it's a quiz to help you find out what type of PCOS you have.
You can have a combination of types.
Yeah.
I see someone saying everyone has different symptoms when it comes to PCOS. Not everyone's the same. That's right. We've categorized it this way, but you can totally have different combinations.
Yeah.
And honestly, there isn't any official categories. Like if you talk to your doctor, they might have different categories. Not a lot of research has gone into this. However, we have found that with patients, I've found that these are the 4 main types, and I've seen different combinations.
5.
5, yeah.
And if you're new to us too, Taline is a registered dietitian who specializes in PCOS, and she has PCOS herself. She was able to, I don't know why I just went to this intro, but she basically got PCOS like 10, 12 years ago. You've been managing it since.
Yes.
Your approach was going gluten dairy free.
Yes.
Confirming all the jurisdictions in this jurisdiction.
Yes.
And I am her husband, a PCOS personal trainer, basically doing my best to help the community as well. Thank you guys for answering our questions. Absolutely. With that being said, let's announce the giveaway winner. The next giveaway winner is Carolina. She says, PCOS Live, very informative content for PCOS. I got diagnosed 3 years ago, but all I heard from my doctor was to lose weight, nothing else, no pointers on how to cope with PCOS, what supplements to take, etc. She says, I didn't say etc. She said etc. This podcast opened my eyes and showed what I can do to ease PCOS symptoms and enjoy life to the fullest. Thank you, Carolina. Her name is spelled Karolayna, so I think it's Carolina. But congratulations, you are getting 1 month free in the sisterhood. We'll be in contact. And honestly, thank you to everybody for who left a review on the podcast. I mean, like, again, we wake up every morning. Like, usually the Mondays is the day the episode goes out. So, like, especially Monday morning, like, all right, who's listening? How's it going? And today we saw there was like 1,000 reviews plus, and that's huge. It's only been 1 year
So
in 2 weeks.
exciting.
Yeah, and we're gonna continue doing this for another year, another 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 years. Basically,
Yeah, I have a question, sisters. Give us some topics.
Oh, I have actually. Okay, before you ask that, next week's episode. Okay, and I'm gonna answer that question about insulin. I'm sorry, intermittent fasting. I saw your question, Amina. I will answer it. Just give me one thing. Okay, next week's episode. I'm trying to decide between two different episodes. Should we go with Ovasitol? We interviewed the inventor of Ovasitol, and we're basically all your questions. He answers it himself. Every single question you have about it, he talks about it, all that stuff. Or explaining PCOS to others, like family, your partners, anything like that. Which one would you guys like? Ovasitol or explaining PCOS? We'll see.
Let us know.
I wish there was like a voting feature where you could put like a vote or something.
There might be.
No, I don't think so. All right. Lanati says Ovasitol. Nadala says explain PCOS. Let's see what other people have said.
No, let's do it.
No, I'm just looking around.
Let us know if there's any particular topics you'd like us to talk about. And I have another question
Ovasitol.
after we get these answers in.
Ovasitol.
Oh,
Ovasitol. A lot of Ovasitol.
okay, we'll drop the Ovasitol one.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
First one and then second.
I feel like we've covered every topic about PCOS. And as we move forward with podcasting, we're going to bring on more guests and talk about these same topics and just like, look into more research and keep it new and keep it interesting. So it's always great to get feedback on what to talk about on our podcast. And I was thinking of more like should we talk about our lifestyle more?
Sure.
We talk
that could be done.
I see other podcasts and they talk about like their day to day, and like I like to listen to that. You know what I mean?
That's why we like to make it about both. We usually start with like a nice like intro or like an intro, like what's going on with our life, and then we jump into the podcast episode. But I feel like it's always important to keep it PCOS centric.
I know.
But it's hard.
I mean,
sometimes
PCOS in our life.
Sometimes the topics like we like. It's not like we run out of topics, but like sometimes like it's been like a while. For example,
like a year since we did.
Yeah. But like it's been like 8 months since we last did an episode on hair loss, and I feel like hair loss is really important. Like we should do another episode on hair loss, or like working out for PCOS. It's been like a couple months, but like it's such an important topic. We should do another one. Like updates, refreshers, things like that. Mm-hmm. So it's always important to
new
expand on topics too, because there isn't a lot of research happening, but it's on people like us, and other accounts to continue doing the research and like finding answers and all this stuff. So let's see what people have said. Okay. Oh, there was a question about intermittent fasting. I want to answer that first.
Okay.
If you're trying to get to the podcast, the link is in the bio. So if you go to Instagram, just click the link in bio. But if that's the link in bio for Apple Podcasts, you can just go to any other resource like Spotify, YouTube, what's it called? Stitcher, Google Podcasts. If you just search a sister and her mister, you'll find it basically anywhere.
If you go to the highlight called podcast, you'll see all of the links to our episodes.
Yeah. Okay. And then Also about intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting can help a lot of women with PCOS. There's actually a whole episode on intermittent fasting on the podcast. But basically, with intermittent fasting, you don't eat for like let's say 12. The range that we recommend is 12 hours. So if you eat dinner at 8 p.m., you don't eat it until 8 a.m. And this really helps with like controlling like your insulin resistance. It helps with inflammation. It helps with like recovery, with fatigue, energy levels. There's a lot of research that it shows benefits. We recommend 12 hours and not like 14 and 16 because that can be too drastic and can be too restrictive. However, if that's something you want to try, you're welcome to try it and see how it works for you. But we just recommend 12 hours. You two are super motivating and give such great tips. I feel like a day in your life, you'd even release more of that info without realizing.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
See, I just listened to my favorite podcast, The Skinny Confidential, and she did a day in my life, and I was so into it. So I'm wondering, maybe you guys would
Okay.
want to hear a day in our
Let's
lives.
record an episode on that this week.
Yeah.
We have what was the other idea? Alcohol and
Alcohol and
Yeah.
PCOS.
This week we're going to record alcohol and PCOS and what's it called? What did we just
A
say?
day in our life.
A day in our life. We record 2 episodes a week so that we kind of have like a bank.
But like, is my life that interesting? I'm like at my computer
Yeah, I know,
doing
right?
things.
Our lives are pretty boring.
No, I can spice it up.
Spice it up.
I can spice it
Make it Hollywood. And I wake up
up.
with a parrot on my shoulder singing me good morning. All right.
Okay, are we into the day in the life one? Let us know.
Yeah.
Like, what would I
Maybe.
say? I wake up.
Someone said, "Oh yes, I have many alcohol questions." Yeah, that's a great idea. I think the alcohol one. Okay.
Wait, what was that?
I don't know. Let's see.
Let's see.
Grocery hauls,
Grocery haul.
cravings and PCOS.
Would that be a good podcast episode?
Yeah.
Like something about our favorite groceries
Yeah.
that we must buy.
Yeah. Is it okay to have one meal per day? Is that the OMAD diet? Yeah, we don't recommend that. That's way too restrictive. You don't want to go on like a one meal per day, kind of thing. What is
So
going
sorry,
on? Tell me.
I don't know.
Just leave something. Okay, that's good. Okay.
How strict are you with it? I'm not that strict because, well, here's the thing. I am now because I feel comfortable with gluten and dairy free. But in the beginning, I was not crazy strict because I was trying to give myself space to learn how to do it and not be so hard on myself. So if I accidentally had it or if I felt like it, I would go ahead and do that and evaluate my feelings. How's my body? Am I bloated? And then that would kind of turn me off from it because I felt bloated and fatigued after I would eat gluten or dairy and my skin was awful. And I was like, I don't need this in my life anymore.
Yeah.
If I'm going to glow up, then I'm good without.
And then someone, I think they were just joking, but they said, guys, just eat like rabbits. And no, you don't have to eat like rabbits. I mean, on Sunday, was it Sunday or Saturday? Saturday, we had the best sticky ribs of all time.
Like, we don't always recommend honey like regularly,
Yeah.
but this was a weekend fun thing
Yeah.
that we did. And I was living my best life, let me tell you.
Exactly. And we have like the amazing, delicious dinners that are always gluten dairy free and we enjoy. They're delicious. I don't think rabbits eat like this. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think rabbits eat as good as we do.
And then someone asked, is it difficult to get a baby with PCOS? Now, one thing we want to say is if you've gone to the doctor and the doctor said, oh, like, yeah, PCOS, you're never going to be able to get pregnant. That's not true. It's still very possible to get pregnant with PCOS. Millions of women have done it. It's just about basically treating at the root cause, of your fertility, to make sure that like your cycles are on time and things like that.
Getting yourself to ovulate regularly. Just making sure that your insulin resistance is under control,
Yes.
whatever your PCOS type is, getting that under control. And we help you do that in the sisterhood. And by doing that, you'll heal your symptoms and eventually be able to have a baby, no problem. So don't feel discouraged just because your doctor said that. That just means that at that moment when you're being diagnosed, things are not under control. And they're saying that if you don't fix this, if you don't do something and try to investigate your health and figure this out, then you're going to struggle. All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's just funny stuff is happening. Anyways, okay. I think that's it.
Yeah,
Was
I
something
don't know. So that's it, sisters.
Yeah.
We will see you on our next live. Thanks for the inspo. I'm going to go prepare a podcast episode, A Day in Our Lives.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So if you haven't listened to today's episode yet, it's all about, is a vegetarian diet good for PCOS? So if you're interested,
Link in bio.
Yeah, it's in the link in bio. And a lot
if you want to order Ovasitol, it's in the highlight called Ovasitol.
Yeah.
If you want to order CBD, it's in the highlight called CBD. I saw a lot of questions about anxiety, fatigue, and not being able to sleep. CBD, my friend.
And thank you, Danielle. She says, I really appreciate you guys for getting more info out there. Of course, it's our passion. Nimisha says, thank you for the session, guys. And Concetta says, you guys have been my saving grace. Was diagnosed this last week and I felt so alone. This podcast also helped me tremendously with knowing exactly what to ask doctors and advocate for myself. Amazing, Concetta. That's what we're here for. And you're not alone. There's scissors out there just like you, for you. And Talian and me as a supportive community, we're all here for you to help you. So you're not alone. You can always message us and we'll always help you.
All right.
Right.
Talk to you soon, ladies.
Yes, we'll talk soon. Wednesday. Yeah, we'll be back Wednesday with another live. All right.
Bye.
Peace out. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. TikTok. Thank you guys so much for joining.